The number one predictor of the spiritual health of a child is that they regularly read the Bible. But as kids get older, they spend less time connecting with God's Word. Instead, they're spending their time gaming, chatting, and watching videos. They're online, and they're searching for answers to life's questions. And if we want to share the truth of the gospel with them, we need to go where they are. Imagine your preteen having new content every day that gives them hope, shares the love of Jesus, and disciples them to deeper faith. Together, with our partners at YouVersion at One Hope, we created the Kids Bible Experience to do just that. Today, kids from 7 to 11 years old can access incredible content from church leaders around the world that speaks straight to their heart through the YouVersion Bible app. This incredible platform allows children to experience God's Word in a whole new way, and all in the palm of their hand. Check it out and share it with those you love.
There is a place that I absolutely love going to, and I have been to this place many times. And guess what? I have actually been kicked out of this place too. Can you guess where that place is? Let me give you a hint. Well, let me just tell you. It's Disney. Now, when I think of a place that has mastered the art of remembering the little things, I always, in my mind, go back to Disney. You see, Disney has a principle that each and every one of the cast members has learned. And I believe that that principle is what makes it the most magical place in the world. This is the principle. Are you ready? It's not the magic that makes it work. It's the way that we work that makes it magic. Now, I know many of you are sitting there and saying, Heather, you just said that you were kicked out of Disney. How did you get kicked out of Disney? Well, you see, at Christmas time, you actually have to buy 2 tickets to get into Disney. You have to buy the day pass, and then you actually, if you want to go to the Mickey celebration, you have to buy the evening pass too. Now, I went while I was living in Florida with some friends, and we were having dinner at the Beauty and the Beast Castle, and we had bought the day pass, which means that our ticket expired at 8 p.m. Well, we were sitting there and we were eating dinner and enjoying time together and laughing and all of that stuff, and all of a sudden we went to leave the castle, and when we went to leave the castle, we were stopped by the people at the front. They politely asked us if we were staying for the Mickey Christmas party, and we simply said no, we weren't staying for the party, but we were on our way out. Well, they ended up calling a security cast member over, and the security cast member did something so fun. He said that we were going to make a snowball and flurry on out of the park. It tied into the Frozen theme that was there that year, and they had created this whole Frozen Disney magical moment. It was one of those situations that, had they handled it poorly, I would have never wanted to go back to Disney again. I would have had a bad viewpoint of Disney. But the simple way of saying, hey, guess what? We know you're not supposed to be here right now, but we're going to create a snow flurry. It created a moment that would have been a negative into a very fun positive. It's the simple thing of going above and beyond and doing the little things that created a memory that is totally unforgettable. And it made me want to come back and actually buy the evening pass because I missed an experience that I knew I wanted to be a part of. You see, Disney has trained and equipped their people to treat each and every guest with the utmost care and respect, even if they were like me and they overstay their welcome. So how do they do this? Well, Disney cares for their cast members and treats them with the same care and the same respect that they want the cast members to treat the guests. The formula is actually really simple. Committed, responsible, and inspiring leaders create a culture of care, which leads to a quality of service, which leads to satisfaction, which leads to increase in opportunities to be in people's lives. Before talking about recruiting more people to our team, I think that we should spend more time focusing on caring for the team that is already in place, and then focus on bringing new team members onto the team. You see, as a kids pastor, We get so busy and there is so much going on that we need to be careful to not get caught up in doing ministry that we forget one of the core responsibilities that we have, which is loving people. My goal as a kids pastor is to pour into my kids team, to care for the volunteers in our kids ministry so that as they become a member of our kids team family, they feel that they belong. They feel that they have a place that they can call home. They feel that they have people that will love and encourage them and help them grow in the call that God has placed on their lives. You see, one of our goals as a kids ministry and as kids pastors is to care for the people who are in our ministry. Not just the kids, but the adults and the teens that are serving in our kids ministries. I always want to be a kids pastor that raves on my team. And I want my team to rave on others also. You see, rave is simple. It means respect, appreciate, and value everyone. Now, how do I do that? Well, for me, it's really in the little things. It's getting to know the people on the team's names. And not only just their names, it's getting to know their families' names. Everyone on our kids' team matters, and everyone needs to know that he or she matters. The volunteers are happy to serve and eager to give their time and their energy and their creativity and their loyalty because of a couple simple things. They are respected, they are appreciated, and they are valued. From our greeters to those who are doing stage ministry, each one of those roles are vitally important. And we need to listen to each and every one of those roles and the people in them. When your team members feel that they are not only just a number or of a volunteer that shows up, but they are respected, cared for, and valued as an individual, they will want to serve and they will want to be a part. And the cool thing is as they want to be a part, then guess what? They get excited about the things that God is doing in the kids' lives because they're a part of it. They're a key part of it. So how do we do this as leaders? We have to pay attention to the people on our team. We have to know how they feel appreciated and how they feel valued. Now, how many of you guys have ever heard of the book, The 5 Love Languages? A lot of times it is used in relationships between a husband and a wife. For me, I use it for our team. When someone joins our team, I ask them, how do they feel appreciated and how do they feel valued? Do they feel appreciated through gifts, through acts of service, through quality time, through touch, through words of affirmation? Each person is wired completely and totally different. For instance, for me, I am a huge quality time person. I feel appreciated when I get to spend time with someone. Now, my mom, she is gifts. She feels appreciated when you go to a store and you see something and you pick it up for her and you hand it to her and you tell her that it reminds her of you. For me, I'm not much of a gift person. I love giving gifts, but I struggle with receiving them. We are all wired differently. So, for our kids ministry team, I try to learn what people's love languages are. I try to take an interest in what they enjoy and how they feel appreciated and valued. I make sure to stop by and check in and say hi each week and encourage them and pray for them and follow them on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and see what's going on in their lives, because conversations in the hallway are just as important as having the leaders in the classrooms with the kids. It's so important to have those little things, those little moments where you can say, hey, I saw you did this week. How cool is that? Can you tell me more about it? Being intentional about the little things. So, what are the 5 love languages and how can you encourage your volunteers by using the 5 love languages? So, let's go through it. Here we go. First one, physical touch. This one you have to be a little bit careful with, especially with members of the opposite sex. For me, with some of the ladies on the team, I will go out of my way to give them a hug when they come in to serve. I am not a huggy, touchy-feely type person, but I know that some people on our team feel valued when they experience physical touch. And so I'll go out of my way to give them a hug. The next one is gifts. A lot of time people associate gifts with spending lots of money. And let's face it, when you're in ministry, that's not always an option. If you go on Pinterest, you can find some really cool things about volunteer appreciation, teacher encouragement gifts, and you can find thousands of ideas on how to do something cheap to give a gift to someone to help them feel valuable. So some of the things that I absolutely love is we actually gave out Hershey candy bars the one time, and we told everyone that we appreciated, get it? Appreciated what they were doing. We've also done bottled water, lemonade, and so many other fun ideas. They don't have to cost a lot, but they let the team know that you valued and cared about them during the week. Couple of fun things to do is if you go after the holidays, Valentine's, Christmas, and Easter, you can find a whole bunch of things on sale to pick up and give as an encouragement gift. So some of my favorite things where you could even do a coffee bar where you put a Keurig on a push cart and you push it around and you ask the volunteers on Sunday morning if they want to drink a coffee. That's just a small way to give a gift and care. Another one is, apparently coffee is a big thing in ministry, is giving a coffee shop stop after Wednesday night or after your Sunday night service, allowing everyone to come and hang out at a coffee shop afterwards and grab a cup of joe. Christmas time and ministry Christmas gifts are huge. We've done hand soap, we've done Christmas gloves. This year we're planning on doing kids team t-shirts. Whatever it is, just a little gift just to say we appreciate and love you. Another fun one is Mother's Day. You can give out sandals, or we gave out candy or even tea and told our leaders that they were tea-rific. Father's Day, you can give out barbecue sauce. The thing is, have fun with it. The more fun you have in being creative with the gifts that you give, the more fun that the volunteers will have and they will laugh at. Now, we also try to keep track of our volunteers' birthdays. In the week of their birthday, we send a really cool card in the mail just wishing them happy birthday. Encourage the leaders to come on up front and have the kids come around them and pray for them. It's just something really special and intentional to show that you care. It doesn't have to be a gift that costs a lot of money either. You see, just recently I went on vacation down in Florida, and one of my team members before I left was talking about how her grandson absolutely loves seashells. And so as I was down in Florida and I was walking the beach, guess what I happened to find? Seashells. I remembered that she had told me this, and so I picked up a few seashells just to put them in my bag, and then on Sunday when I saw her at church, I gave them to her so she could give them to her grandson. Can I tell you, the intentionality in that moment was just to show this lady that she was loved. She was mind blown at the fact that somebody remembered her grandson, and was intentional about doing something to show that she was loved and valued. A lot of times also, here's another key tip. So a lot of times when people come in and serve during the day, one of the really cool things you can do and super easy things you can do is food. Can I tell you, I think there's probably another love language gift, and that's the gift of food. Anytime that somebody helps out at a conference or helps behind the scenes or anything like that, I try to make sure that we have food available and lunch or dinner or a snack is provided for them. It's the little things that show intentionality that, hey, we value and respect their time. And guess what? Not only do we value and respect their time, we are going to be intentional about caring for them and caring for the needs that they have. One of the things that we do is on Easter Sunday, before Easter Sunday, one of the biggest Sundays that we have at church, we actually ask the volunteers to come in a little bit early, and we give a huge pancake breakfast to all of their family. We want to be intentional about caring for our volunteers. We want to be intentional about loving them and meeting not just their needs, but their family's needs. The next love language is quality time. Now, this is my love language, and so it is so easy for me to show people appreciation through quality time. So for me, It's one of those things where you can ask a volunteer to go out to coffee with you. Or maybe you're going to a kid's baseball or soccer game. Ask volunteers to come alongside with you to cheer the kids on, to show the kids that you're there and you're going to show up and you care for them. But it's also showing that their leaders are there, that the leaders value them and the leaders care for them. And as the kids are playing the sports, guess what? You get to have intentional conversations with your leader to find out more about them, how their week's going, and different things like that. Some of the ways I found is not only going to kids' games, but going to their concerts and in paying for the ticket for the volunteer to come with you. One of the guys on our teams, he wanted to be intentional about reaching the boys that he's ministering to. And so he actually started assistant coaching one of the kids on our team's games because he wanted to be intentional about the relationship that he had. Another fun way to spend quality time together is to have fun nights. Now, fun nights are game nights or hangout nights that you can do with the kids ministry team. Open up your house, allow people to come in, or if you do happen to have a small house, go invite and go to a movie together or go out to dinner together after an event. The thing is, spending time together, building that relationship and laughing together is so important. And so quality time is a great way to spend time together. Spending time together, getting to know your team members is so important. You are serving together in ministry, but it's so much more than just showing up on Sundays and serving. You are reaching kids for Jesus together. It's fun to do life together. Some other fun things is we know people's schedules are so busy. And so one of the cool things that you can do is schedule some things that might be considered drop-in events. Maybe it's an IKEA shopping trip, or maybe a Christmas shopping trip, or maybe a movie night in the theater, or maybe a frozen yogurt, or painting class together, or a game night. Things where people can show up for a period of time and then have the ability to leave. And so creating those opportunities just to spend time together is so valuable and so important. The next love language is acts of service. Now, this would be finding ways to serve families in your church and to find ways to serve your volunteers. For instance, every once in a while, you could offer a free babysitting day for your kids' team. Maybe you recruit some of the youth or college students in the area to come on in, and you offer a free babysitting day before Christmas so that your volunteers can have a day to go Christmas shopping. Little things like that is being intentional and meeting a need that they have. If one of your kids' team members is moving or painting or cleaning, attempt to show up and help out. That's another way that you can do an act of service for somebody in your ministry. Is if you hear of somebody moving, be intentional about showing up and helping. And if you can't show up and help, make sure that you ask around and see if people on the team would be willing to go and help support other team members. Concentrate on what you can do for them rather than on what they can do for you. I'm going to say that one more time. Concentrate on what you can do for them rather on what they can do for you. I always tell my team that they are more important to me than what they did for me. And you know what? I have to work to prove that because our volunteers do a lot for us in ministry. Also, another thing to do is show up. If a team member has a baby or is in a hospital or a close family member is in the hospital, try to, amongst your team, organize meals and show up to be there for your volunteers. One of the other 5 love languages is words of affirmation. This one is huge. Share appreciation and give the wins away. So many times people will come up and say, "Hey, Pastor Heather, the kids ministry is amazing. I love it with what my kids are learning in church." For me, my instant response is we have an incredible team. And did you know that such and such preached that week? And I would love if I could share that win with them. The reason why this is so important is because a lot of times as a pastor, people will want to give you the wins. And the wins are so important, but it's also important for us not to hold the wins on to ourselves, but to give the wins away to our team. Because guess what? We can do nothing without our team. Give the credit away. I think so many times in my life I've noticed in ministry where people try to keep the credit to themselves. But can I be honest with you? The biggest win you can do is give the credit away to your team. Celebrate the team and what they are accomplishing. Celebrate the big wins that your team does together, because you can't do it on your own. You're only so good. It takes the team to come together and to support the vision of where you're heading and the vision of where you're leading, but it takes the team to make it happen. And so as a leader, don't hold on to the wins. Give the wins away. Let people know how much you value them. Let others see and recognize the wins in the ministry and who alongside of you helped participate in those wins. There are some ways too that you can also encourage others. For me, one of the things I try to do each and every week is send out at least 2 cards to somebody on our kids team. Something that I saw that week as I was walking around that I saw and I noticed about them. Maybe it was that Johnny was willing to go into the 2-year-old class, even though the last month he's been crying and didn't want to go in. But that week he was so excited to go in because his teacher Sally made a relationship with him and was welcoming him when he came in. Be intentional about celebrating the wins together and letting the team know that you recognize and you see them. Now, one of the things also is developing a core ministry team, because guess what? Ministry is hard work. And so we intentionally have about 6 people on our kids ministry core team, one that represents each area of ministry, because sometimes I'm not always going to get down to preschool and nursery. And I need our team to be intentional about seeing what is happening in the ministries and encouraging other people in our ministry, encouraging the volunteers. So don't just put it on yourself. Encourage your core leadership team to encourage, respect, and value others. Our volunteers need to know that they are appreciated. They need to hear the word thank you. How many of you sitting there need to hear the word thank you from time to time? It's really simple. You can say thank you through a card. You can say thank you through a text message. You can say thank you through simply saying it on Facebook or Instagram or social media. Just be intentional about saying thank you. So here's my question. Right now in this moment, who is it that God may lay on your heart to say thank you to? So for the next 10 seconds, I want you guys to think about who is that person and send them a quick thank you text. We also need to be intentional about giving our volunteers breaks. I know a lot of times in kids ministry, it's go, 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 go. A lot of times even going into big church may not be an option. But you have to be intentional about making sure that your volunteers are attending service. Why is this important? Because your volunteers need to hear the vision of the church. They need to be poured into so that they can pour out to the kids. Why is volunteer care important? It's important because if we want to build a team, if we want to build a family, if we want to build a ministry that can be far more than just ourselves, we need other people. We need people to see that they are loved and valued and appreciated and listened to so that they can in turn love, value, and appreciate the kids that God has led us in our kids ministry. It's so important to be intentional, to be relational, to allow the team to know that they are cared for and they are valued. So much more than just for showing up and teaching a class. They are valued because each and every person that is volunteering is just that. They are a person who God has brought on your team. They are a person that God has allowed you to minister to love, to show that they are cared for, they are valued. And so, as a kids pastor, as a kidsman leader, I challenge you, be intentional. Rave on your team. Create a culture of people who encourage, love, and value everyone around them. Not only will that keep the team members that you already have, but guess what? As people see how exciting it is to be a part of the kids ministry team, they will want to be part of it too, and your team will grow. Because people will know they're not just another face. They're not just another number. They're not just a person to fill a room, but you care about who they are as an individual. You care about the unique plan and call that God has placed on their life. And so, my challenge to you is be intentional this week.